Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining this presentation. My name is Johan Alvarado, and I'm going to talk about how to harmonize philosophy, science, and ethics with the Platonic dialogues. My advisors are Katie Teresakis, Kelly Martin, and Ting Zhang. So to give you some background on why we are doing this presentation, I'm a computer science and philosophy recently graduated student, and I've been working over the summer in the National Endowment of the Humanities and Teagle project as a research assistant. The goal for this project was to enhance philosophy and communication offerings at RIT. And to do this, we began on the search for transformative class or text experiences that students at RIT may have, so we can use them to include them in this new philosophy and communications offering. The story that I want to share today is the Allegory of the Cave and how this transformative text has helped me in my journey as a computer science and philosophy student. I have frequent encounters with this dialogue, the Allegory of the Cave in the Republic. If you know already the story, bear with me. We're going to discuss it, even the implications of that story. So the idea of the cave was written in Athens around 380 BC. So let's begin with just a short recap on what's this story about. The idea is that we have some prisoners in a cave. These prisoners have been all their lives in the cave, just experiencing the reality of the shadows. And these shadows have been created by a puppeteer to make them believe that it's real, right? So all they see is shadows, darkness, and these creations of the puppeteer to create their reality. So maybe the question is, how accurate is this reality for the humans inside the cave, right? They only see that, and they have seen that reality all their lives. How accurate is this reality for the people outside the cave, right? So Plato begins just framing the story this way. The next idea that Plato introduces is that there is at some point, one of the prisoners is set free, and this prisoner is able to see the light, as you can see in the slides. And this light gives him a new perspective of reality, right? So what are the implications of this change? Like, you have a prisoner that has been experiencing the same reality in the darkness inside a cave, and you have then this same prisoner experiencing the reality outside the cave, not only with shadows, but with perhaps real objects outside the cave, right? But there is an issue, right? How do we know which reality is more accurate? Which one is the real one? Plato continues and tells that this prisoner came back to the cave after being outside and exposed to a different reality. But there's another issue, like, how do we share the knowledge without conflicting with existing reality? Because for each prisoner, their reality is the true one, right? So there is multiple perspectives, and there's going to be a conflict between them. And this is the purpose of this Plato allegory, to show like the issues with these different perspectives and the collapse of those. Now, let me continue the story, but with a different take, maybe to another example that may resemble the same conclusion. In this case, the Allegory of the Cave with glasses. So I had this issue with prescription glasses. Like, I'm trying to find like the perfect prescription, the glasses that will make me see the things clearly, like perfectly clear. Right, and of course I go to the ophthalmologist from time to time, and I have to change them very often. And what happens is that I get used to the same glasses, and whenever I want to change them for a better prescription, I suffer for a few weeks or months, right, to change them. And I feel like my reality is with the glasses that I have, right? The new ones, even if they seem better, I don't like them, right? It's like it's a conflict between them. So even I have my old ones here. And of course, you wear them, you see the reality with different lens, different perspective, but which one is the best, right? It seems like a matter of which one you are more used to than an objective way to measure which is the true one. So this issue happens in many areas, I would say, in the philosophy, in science, in ethics. And well, the idea is basically the same, right? And even you can say like, oh, what if we get close to the things and we try to see them the close that we can? Of course, if we put an eye on something, we won't be able to see it anymore, right? We still need some distance of things to see them clearly. We still need more perspectives to see some phenomena happening. So there is always this issue. How do we deal with multiple perspectives? And that's the key message, perhaps, of this presentation. Like, we are gonna face different perspectives, different realities all the time. In my case, being a computer science and philosophy student, I face this issue of collapse of multiple perspectives in philosophy, in science, and also in ethics. So the idea from a philosophical perspective, of course, the questions may arise like truth, knowledge. Like, what is truth? What is knowledge? And the idea of this perspective, of course, is explore, ask the right questions to follow some path, but not just keep asking questions, right? Because philosophy doesn't only ask questions and that's it, right? Philosophy tries to ask guiding questions to seek more knowledge, to improve the existing knowledge. So we know that probably knowledge is not something fixed, something that will remain the same. The only constant is probably our desire to continue improving our existing knowledge. And this is, of course, knowing that perhaps there is no an objective, pure, perfect reality or prescription in my example earlier. From a scientific perspective, right? I've been involved in many machine learning, data science projects, and probably some of you are familiar. There is a free lunch theorem that says that there is not a single machine learning algorithm that can solve all problems. We need to apply them based on specific cases, based on data sets, based on some parameters. There is no one size fits all. We always have to try many algorithms, and I will say many perspectives of the same problem to find like the best solution that can even change over time. And science understands this conflict of multiple perspectives. Science understood this very well, and that's, I think the key message and why science is still keep making progress, right? Because science doesn't get to a point where there is a fixed knowledge and that's it. There is always some revolutions and changes and new discoveries, but they are not like always replacing each other and clashing between them, right? The theories kind of emerge and find certain harmony between them so they can build on knowledge to improve the existing technology. And that's the key message from science and this story. Finally, the ethical perspective. Maybe the key question in ethics is that what is justice, right? How do we find a just way to measure or compare between different perspectives, right? We all have our own perspective, yet we have to try to harmonize them, to interact, to share knowledge. So there is always this conflict of multiple perspectives, no objective way. Of course, one may think that my reality is true and your reality is not, but we all can have the same message. So closing your eyes and staying in the same reality means staying in the cave, right? Essentially. And that's the takeaway from this story. To conclude, I've been trying over my classes in computer science, philosophy, and ethics to harmonize all these perspectives into a single, well, not a single one, but kind of find overlap between them. The takeaway is it's always helpful to understand very well what are the different perspectives of each of these paths or even any others before kind of agreeing or disagreeing or building a new knowledge. Knowledge is dynamic, as I mentioned earlier. The scientific method understood this very well, and that's the key for its success. The only constant seems like the desire to pursue more knowledge. Finally, justice these days seem more like a harmony between multiple perspectives. Can be science, can be philosophy, can be ethics, or can be any other. So justice, like in Plato's times, is seeking kind of a harmony between these often collapsing, conflicting perspectives. Thank you so much.